What if I told you that the reason your fasting isn't working has nothing to do with how long you're fasting, but everything to do with 5 critical mistakes you're probably making right now without even knowing it? I've seen thousands of people struggle with intermittent fasting, losing their energy, their motivation, and worst of all, getting zero results despite doing everything they think is right. The crazy part? Most people are literally 1 or 2 simple fixes away from completely transforming their fasting results. Some of these mistakes are so counterintuitive that even experienced fasters mess them up. And mistake number 3 is the exact opposite of what most fasting gurus tell you to do. If you're serious about making fasting actually work for you, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the advanced fasting strategies I'll be sharing next week. Trust me, you'll want to see what's coming. Now, here's what's really going on. You've been doing intermittent fasting for a few weeks now, maybe even a couple of months. You were excited at first, maybe lost some weight initially, but now things have slowed down or even stopped. You're feeling tired, irritable, and honestly wondering if this whole fasting thing is even worth it. The problem isn't fasting itself. It's probably one of these 5 massive mistakes that almost everyone makes when they start out. Let's dive in and fix them so you can finally see the results you've been working so hard for. Mistake number 1, you're dehydrated and missing your electrolytes. Here's what nobody tells you when you start fasting. Your body doesn't just burn fat during a fast. It also dumps water and critical minerals called electrolytes. Think of electrolytes as the electrical system in your body. They're minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium that carry tiny electrical charges, and they're essential for everything, from your heartbeat to your muscle movements to your brain function. When you fast, especially if you're doing it for more than 8 hours, your insulin levels drop. Now, insulin is the hormone everyone talks about with blood sugar, but it also tells your kidneys to hold on to sodium and water. When insulin drops during fasting, your kidneys start flushing out sodium and water like crazy. This is actually why a lot of people lose weight quickly in the first week of fasting, but spoiler alert, most of that initial weight loss is just water. The real problem starts when you're not replacing those lost electrolytes. You wake up with a pounding headache. Your muscles cramp up randomly. You feel dizzy when you stand up too fast. Your brain feels foggy and you can't concentrate on anything. Sound familiar? This is what people call the keto flu. And it's not because fasting is bad for you. It's because you're literally running on empty when it comes to these essential minerals. Research shows that during fasting, your body enters a state called ketosis, where it burns fat for energy instead of glucose. This is great for weight loss, but ketosis accelerates the loss of sodium through your urine. When sodium goes down, potassium and magnesium follow right behind it. Without magnesium, your body can't even hold on to potassium properly. It's like trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. So what do you do about it? First, drink way more water than you think you need. But here's the key. Plain water isn't enough. You need to add electrolytes back in. Now, before you run to the store and grab any sports drink off the shelf, hold on. Most commercial electrolyte drinks are loaded with sugar and artificial ingredients that will absolutely break your fast and spike your blood sugar. What you want is a sugar-free electrolyte supplement, or you can make your own at home. It's super simple. Take a tall glass of water, add a good pinch of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, maybe a quarter teaspoon. Add a squeeze of lemon or lime for some natural potassium and flavor. If you can get potassium chloride from a health store, add a tiny bit of that too. Magnesium supplements are also crucial. Aim for about 70 to 120 milligrams spread throughout the day. Drink this mixture throughout your fasting window, not just once. Your body is constantly losing these minerals, so you need to constantly replace them. Think of it like keeping your phone charged. You wouldn't wait until it's completely dead to plug it in, right? Same principle here. Stay ahead of the dehydration and electrolyte loss, and suddenly those awful fasting symptoms disappear like magic. Mistake number 2, you're breaking your fast with terrible foods. All right, So you've made it through your fasting window. 16 hours, 18 hours, maybe even 24 hours without food. You're hungry, maybe even hangry at this point, and all you can think about is that pizza in the fridge or those donuts from the bakery down the street. So the clock hits your eating window, and you absolutely demolish that food. Stop right there. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make, and it's sabotaging all the hard work you just did. Here's what happens inside your body during a fast. Your digestive system basically goes into sleep mode. Your stomach reduces the production of digestive enzymes. Your gut bacteria change their activity patterns. Your blood sugar levels drop and stabilize. Your body shifts from burning glucose to burning. Everything is in this beautiful, efficient, fat burning state. Then you slam it with a massive plate of greasy, sugary, processed food. Your blood sugar doesn't just rise, it skyrockets. Your insulin shoots up like a rocket to try and deal with all that sugar. Your digestive system, which has been resting, suddenly has to work overtime to process heavy, fatty foods with limited enzymes available. The result? You feel bloated, nauseous, and exhausted. You might get heartburn or acid reflux. Your stomach cramps up. Some people even experience diarrhea. And here's the worst part, that massive insulin spike you just triggered stops fat burning dead in its tracks and tells your body to start storing fat again. You basically just undid a huge chunk of the benefits from your fast. Research clearly shows that what you eat when breaking a fast is just as important as the fast itself. Foods high in refined carbohydrates and added sugars cause rapid spikes in blood glucose. Your body, which has been in a sensitive metabolic state, can't handle that sudden overload. Plus, greasy and fried foods put massive stress on your digestive system when it hasn't been producing normal enzyme levels. So, what should you eat instead? Think gentle, think nutritious, think small. Your first meal after a fast should be like easing into a warm bath, not jumping into ice water. Start with something small that contains protein and healthy fat. A handful of nuts like almonds or walnuts is perfect. They're easy to digest, they have healthy fats that won't spike your insulin, and they have protein to help you feel satisfied without overwhelming your system. After that small starter, wait about 15 or 20 minutes, then have your actual meal. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods, lean proteins like eggs, chicken, or fish. These provide the amino acids your body needs without being too heavy. Add lots of non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens, broccoli, peppers, and zucchini. These are packed with nutrients and fiber but won't cause blood sugar spike. Include some healthy fats from avocado, olive oil, or nut. These help you feel full and support hormone production. Avoid ultra processed foods, anything with added sugar, fried and greasy foods, and huge portions. Your body has been in healing and repair mode during the fast. When you break that fast with nutrient dense, easily digestible food, you support that healing process and keep your metabolism in fat burning mode. When you break it with junk food, you throw a wrench in the entire system. One more thing, eat slowly and mindfully. Your hunger hormones are probably screaming at you, but if you slow down and actually chew your food, you'll find you get full on less food than you think. This isn't just about calories, it's about giving your digestive system the gentle restart it needs. Mistake number 3, you're fasting too aggressively too soon. Let's talk about the all or nothing mentality. You hear about someone doing a 24-hour fast, or that celebrity who swears by eating only 4 hours a day, and you think if it works for them, it'll work even better for me. So you dive in head first. You're currently eating 3 meals a day, plus snacks, and suddenly you switch to eating only during a 4-hour window. Or maybe you jump straight into alternate day fasting, where you eat nothing every other day. Here's what actually happens. Your body goes into complete shock. You feel absolutely miserable. You're starving, irritable, can't focus, have zero energy, you push through for a few days because you're determined, but then you crack. You end up binge eating, feeling guilty, and either giving up entirely or forcing yourself back into that punishing routine only to crash again. This is not sustainable, and it's definitely not healthy. Recent research has shown that while intermittent fasting has incredible benefits, the approach matters tremendously. There was even a controversial study that came out suggesting extreme time restricted eating might have cardiovascular risks, though the methodology has been questioned. The point isn't to scare you, it's to emphasize that moderation and gradual progression are key. Your body is incredibly adaptable, but it needs time to adjust. When you've been eating around the clock, your whole life, your hormones, metabolism, and digestive system are programmed for that pattern. Changing it overnight is like trying to run a marathon when you've never jogged a day in your life. You're setting yourself up for injury or failure. The smart approach is to ease into fasting gradually. Start where you are right now. If you normally eat breakfast at 7, lunch at noon, dinner at 6, and snacks throughout the evening, first just cut out the late night snacks. Get used to not eating after 7 or 8 p.m. Do that for a week or two until it feels normal. Then start pushing breakfast a little later. Instead of 7, eat at 9, then 10. Before you know it, you're naturally doing a 12-hour fast, which means eating within a 12-hour window. Once that feels comfortable, gradually shrink your eating window further. Move to 14 hours of fasting, then 16, which is the popular 16-8 method. This might take a month or even 2 months to work up to, and that's perfectly fine. You're building a sustainable lifestyle change, not looking for a quick fix that'll leave you burnt out. Listen to your body during this progression. Some days you might feel great with a longer fast. Other days you might need to eat a bit earlier, and that's okay. Fasting should make you feel energized and clear-headed once you're adapted. If you're feeling awful all the time, you've pushed too far too fast, scale it back, give your body more time to adjust, then try again. Also, consider your lifestyle when choosing a fasting schedule. If you have a busy social life or a job with irregular hours, trying to maintain a super strict fasting window might cause more stress than benefit. Maybe the 16-8 method fits your lifestyle perfectly. Maybe alternate day fasting works better because you can plan your fasting days around your schedule. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here. The best fasting protocol is the one you can actually stick to long term. Mistake number 4. You're either overeating or undereating during your eating window. This is where things get tricky, and honestly, where most people completely mess up their fasting results. There are two opposite problems here, but they both kill your progress. Let's start with overeating. You finish your fast, you're hungry, and your brain is telling you that since you fasted, you've earned the right to eat whatever you want. So you eat and eat and eat. You're packing in way more calories during your eating window than your body actually needs. Here's the reality check. Fasting isn't a free pass to binge eat. The main way intermittent fasting helps with weight loss is by naturally reducing your overall calorie intake. When you have fewer hours to eat, you typically end up eating less total food. But if you're compensating by eating massive amounts during your eating window, you're not creating any calorie deficit at all. In fact, you might be eating more than you would have with regular meals throughout the day. Plus, there's the issue of hunger hormone. After a fast, your body releases a hormone called ghrelin, which makes you feel hungry and actually increases your appetite. This is normal and natural, but if you're not mindful, you can easily overeat in response to those signals. Then your stomach stretches, you feel uncomfortable, and you've consumed way more calories than you needed. All the metabolic benefits from fasting, the improved insulin sensitivity, the fat burning, get partially offset by the calorie surplus. On the flip side, some people make the opposite mistake. They're so focused on the fasting part that they drastically undereat during their eating window. Maybe they're trying to accelerate weight loss, or they've lost their appetite from fasting. They might only eat one small meal, or barely reach 1,000 calories in a day. This seems like it would help with weight loss, right? Wrong. Severe calorie restriction backfires in multiple ways. First, your body needs a certain amount of energy just to function. Your brain, heart, lungs, and organs need fuel. When you consistently undereat, your metabolism actually slows down to conserve energy. Your body goes into what's sometimes called starvation mode. It starts breaking down muscle tissue for energy because muscle is metabolically expensive to maintain. You end up losing muscle mass instead of fat, which tanks your metabolism even further. Now you need even fewer calories to maintain your weight, so when you eventually eat normally again, you gain weight faster than before. Second, severe undereating leads to nutrient deficiencies. You're not getting enough protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. This affects everything from your immune system to your hormones to your bone density. You feel tired, weak, and irritable. Your hair might start falling out. Your skin looks dull. These are signs your body isn't getting what it needs. So, what's the solution? You need to find the sweet spot. Calculate roughly how many calories your body needs based on your age, gender, weight, height, and activity level. There are plenty of online calculators that can help with this. For weight loss, you want to eat slightly less than your maintenance calories, usually about a 300 to 500 calorie deficit. Not a massive restriction, just a moderate, sustainable deficit. During your eating window, spread those calories across 2 to 3 balanced meals. Each meal should include a palm-sized portion of protein, a fist-sized portion of vegetables, a cupped hand portion of complex carbohydrates like quinoa or sweet potato, and a thumb-sized portion of healthy fat. This isn't about obsessively counting every calorie, it's about eating reasonable portions of nutritious food that fuel your body properly. Pay attention to how you feel. You should feel satisfied after meals, not stuffed or still starving. You should have steady energy throughout the day, not crashing or feeling exhausted. If you're losing weight too quickly, more than 2 pounds per week, you're probably undereating. If you're not losing any weight after several weeks, you might be overeating. Adjust accordingly and give your body time to respond. Mistake number 5, you're ignoring everything else that matters for health. Here's the trap so many people fall into. They discover intermittent fasting, they read about all the amazing benefits, and they become laser focused on their fasting schedule. They obsess over their fasting window, they track every hour, and they stress if they accidentally eat 5 minutes early. But meanwhile, they're sleeping only 5 hours a night. They're stressed out of their minds. They're sitting at a desk all day with zero physical activity. They're still eating processed junk food during their eating window. Then they wonder why fasting isn't giving them the results they expected. Intermittent fasting is a powerful tool, but it's not magic. It works best when it's part of an overall healthy lifestyle. Think of fasting as one pillar of health, but there are other essential pillars too. Sleep, stress management, exercise, and nutrition quality all work together. If you nail fasting but ignore everything else, you're building a house with only one wall. Let's start with sleep. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your hunger hormones go haywire. Ghrelin, that hunger hormone, goes up. Leptin, which signals fullness, goes down. You end up feeling hungrier and less satisfied with food. Your body also becomes more insulin resistant, meaning it has a harder time processing carbohydrates and is more likely to store them as fat. Plus, lack of sleep increases cortisol, your stress hormone, which promotes fat storage, especially around your midsection. You can fast perfectly, but if you're only sleeping 5 hours a night, you're fighting an uphill battle. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Create a bedtime routine, turn off screens an hour before bed. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. These basics make a massive difference in your results. Now, chronic stress keeps your cortisol levels elevated all the time. High cortisol increases belly fat storage, breaks down muscle tissue, disrupts your sleep, and makes you crave sugar and carbs. If you're stressed all day every day, fasting can actually add to that stress load instead of helping. Your body perceives fasting as a stressor, and if you're already maxed out on stress, it might not respond well. Find ways to manage stress. This could be meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, spending time in nature, or whatever helps you relax. Even just 10 minutes a day of intentional stress reduction can improve your fasting results dramatically. Exercise is another crucial piece. Fasting helps preserve muscle mass better than regular calorie restriction, but you still need to use those muscles to keep them strong. Resistance training, like lifting weights or body weight exercises, signals your body to maintain and build muscle. Cardiovascular exercise improves your heart health, stamina, and fat burning. You don't need to kill yourself in the gym for hours, even 3 to 4 30-minute sessions per week. Combining resistance and cardio can transform your body composition. Some people worry about exercising while fasted. Actually, exercising in a fasted state can enhance fat burning, since your glucose is low and your body readily taps into fat stores for energy. Start with light to moderate exercise while fasted and see how you feel. If you're doing intense workouts, you might prefer to eat first. Listen to your body and adjust. Finally, the quality of your food matters immensely. You can fast for 16 hours a day, but if those 8 hours are filled with processed foods, sugar, and empty calories, you won't get optimal results. Focus on whole food. Lots of vegetables, quality proteins, healthy fats, some fruits, and whole grains or legumes if you tolerate them. Minimize processed foods, added sugars, and industrial seed oils. Drink plenty of water. The beautiful thing is, fasting often naturally makes you more mindful about food quality. When you have a limited eating window, you start prioritizing nutrient-dense foods that make you feel good rather than empty calories that don't satisfy you. Use that natural tendency to build better eating habits. Here's the bottom line. Intermittent fasting is an incredible tool when done correctly, but it's not about perfection. It's about consistency and balance. Avoid these 5 massive mistakes: forgetting about hydration and electrolytes, breaking your fast with terrible food, going too hard too fast, either overeating or undereating during your window, and ignoring the rest of your lifestyle. Fix these issues, and you'll finally start seeing the results fasting promises. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Give your body time to adapt. Be patient with yourself. Some days will be easier than others, and that's completely normal. The goal isn't to be perfect every single day. The goal is to build sustainable habits that you can maintain for the long term. When you do that, fasting stops being a diet and becomes a natural part of your lifestyle that keeps you healthy, energized, and feeling great. If you found this helpful, make sure to share it with anyone you know who's struggling with fasting. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these mistakes you've been making and which one surprised you the most. And remember, you've got this. Small changes done consistently lead to incredible results. Now get out there and fast like a pro.